Hello, hello, hello. While we're getting the audience going here, I'm going to just share this into other groups and pages, so bear with me as I'm looking down. It's funny now, I see everyone doing this where they're sharing into other pages, so now I don't feel so weird doing it. Do you guys feel the same? You're like, well, everyone's doing it, might as well I'll do it too. Got one. Hi, waiting for an audience to build here. So once everybody joins on, I'll get started with this important Facebook Live. Hi, whoever's jumped in, why don't you give a little thumbs up or say hi, just so I know I'm not alone here. That would be awesome. Thank you. I'm Nicole, dicristofaro. We're going to be talking about some good stuff here, because guess what? Don't we all have emotional breakdowns? I mean, come on. They happen. They happen to the best of us. So just because you've done work on yourself okay, there we go. I can stop looking down now. Hi, everyone. Nicole dicristofaro here. Hey, hi, Nicole Morissette. Welcome. I wonder if the title got you. Yes, I see your emojis. Yeah, emotional breakdowns and how we could heal and rise up. One of my, formalities first, sorry. I'm Nicole dicristofaro. I'm one of the Positive Project Change visionaries, so you're seeing that on that page. And if you're joining me from Divine Flow Energy Healing or my Love Guarding Designing page, you might know me. I'm an energy healer, also an intuitive guide. I've been a love mentor, love coach for over 5 years now, and really just wanting to share and inspire and help others. It's my purpose on this planet. It's what my soul was called to do, is to just help others realize their magnificence, help them rise up, help them overcome whatever challenges, live the life of their dreams, live an inspired life. So many things I can go on. But really, it's so that you, whoever's watching this, can live into who you really were meant to be on this planet, right? I really feel that our souls did decide to come here and live into our, embrace our gifts and share that with the world. Now, whether your gift is accounting, or your gift is healing animals, or your gift is landscape garden designing, it doesn't matter. Those are your gifts. And my desire, because I know what it was like to not own my gifts or not believe in them or not feel like, who am I to be doing this work and helping others? I know what it's like to be in that space of not having that confidence and not believing in myself. So that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, out of all the many, helping you love yourself more, helping you be confident, believe in yourself. So my my husband called during a Facebook Live. Does that ever happen to you guys? I didn't want to hit the decline button. Sorry, honey, I love you, but I'm busy right now. Anyways, so today I'm sharing this message about emotional breakdowns. We all have them. I had one this morning. Anybody want to raise their hand? Did you have one today? Did you have one yesterday? You could share in the comments below. I had an emotional breakdown, and I'm always kind of caught off guard because I'm just someone that I think I process. I feel that I process. I feel that I'm in tune with my feelings and my emotions, but you know what? Sometimes I'm lying to myself, and that was really what came through today. So I don't know if you've experienced that recently, where you were not feeling something. You chose not to feel something. You chose not to explore that and go in. And look, just because I'm coaching others, a light worker, whatever you want to call me, energy healer, doesn't mean that I have my own bags to unpack. And sometimes the bags show up in surprising ways. One of my favorite quotes is by Ernest Hemingway, and it says, "We're all broken. That's how the light gets in." And I feel that we just need to really own our brokenness and share it, right, to help others, inspire others. So if anything, I hope this helps you today. What we're going to talk about a little bit here, help you see that it's okay to go into the emotional breakdown, because let me tell you, the rewards, the feelings after, and you do need to process it, and it might be, your processing might look different from mine, but you need to feel whatever it is, because there will be a breakdown of some sort at whatever. And whether you take it out on your kids or your husband, your friend, your parents, wives, whoever's watching this, you know what I'm talking about, right? If we stuff it down, it's what is Brene Brown calls it, chandeliering. It's just gonna go whoosh, and it's gonna come out. And today I had the lovely experience of having that emotional breakdown with my husband, who, it's a safe space. Of course, we've been married over 4 years, but known each other for 7. However, it's still not something I enjoy experiencing. I mean, who here loves emotional breakdowns? Raise your hand. No one wants them, right? I think that's part of it, is we resist them. We are afraid of them, or we're like, no, not again. I'm done. I thought I was done. I don't want to cry anymore. And believe me, I was that person. I feel like out of all the processing I've done in my life, having to have an emotional breakdown is not high on my list of things I want to experience in a day. So if you are with me on that, if you want to share in the comments, I'd love to talk about whatever it is you're experiencing. I like to make these interactive, so go ahead and feel free to comment. So what this emotional breakdown today taught me, and how I healed and I rose up from it, is that it taught me that, I wasn't being honest with myself about some things. I was pretending, while I was genuinely feeling good about myself, about life. I generally do. Like, I have such an amazing relationship with myself, but there's more, right? There's always more. People like to use the onion analogy. I think of it as a spiral staircase. There's never a landing where you get off and you're like, I'm done. Here, I've arrived. I'm here. It just keeps going. And you have to be okay with that. That's the ride you're on in this human body. Or you can be someone that chooses not to grow and explore. But remember, if you're not growing, you're decaying, right? So I am always saying yes to growth. I'm always saying yes to learning. And my spirit knows that, my soul knows that that's my truth. So I feel like I'm given these opportunities to learn and grow, become more aware, and either transform or shift or be in it, whatever it is. It is important for me to learn in the moment, right? So what I saw, one, was that I wasn't being honest with myself about something I was feeling. And I'll share with you, I'm going to be totally an open book here and be vulnerable. I have a deep, one of my biggest stories, or my core beliefs, is that I'm not enough. And I think everyone on the planet probably has that in some degree, right? It seems to be such a common one. So I was looking for validation, and a conversation was happening with my husband. And believe me, he takes responsibility for what he brought into the conversation, and I take full responsibility for what I brought into the conversation. And yet I still was looking for validation from him, because I wasn't feeling it within myself. Even though I thought I was feeling it, what I was actually feeling, I was feeling confident, I was feeling purposeful, I was feeling all these like good, positive high vibe energy feelings. I've been really working on, my meditations and journaling and really connecting. But there was a part of me that, the inner child, the wounded child, was still like, I need validation. Please, everyone like me, and if you can relate to that, give me a thumbs up or a like or heart, something. But I was looking for that. for him, and he wasn't giving that to me. And I was mad, I was pissed off, I was angry, and it was coming out in this heated conversation we were having, and it didn't go well. Okay, I'm not proud. Hi Bobby, thanks for joining. Hey Kelly, thanks for joining with the heart smiley face. It was not one of my moments I'm proud of. I don't like to take out my insecurities, my hurt, my despair on anybody else. However, don't we all seem to do it to the people that we feel the safest to do it with, or the people that are closest to us, right? I'm guilty of that. Hello, it's me. I do that. Working on it though. So, and he also brought his stuff into it, and it was totally like not appropriate timing for me to be going into. He was getting ready to go a big day with work and school, and here I am needing validation. I'm like this needy person wanting validation. Yes, Kelly, shadow work is painful. So literally it hurts. So here I was going through this, and it was funny, and I so love that I manifested the man in my dreams. I picked the man, that's just perfect match for me, because he goes, I feel like there's something though, like under all this, that it's like something that you're looking for and you're expecting me to give you. And he's a coach. He was a coach, so he knows. He's a big personal development person. So I like that actually got me to pause. It really stopped me, and that's why I love questions, right? That's what I really try to ask good questions for my clients, because we have those answers. It's within us, and it's okay that we don't always know. That's why you hire someone, or you have somebody in your life to help you find the answers. So he's like, I feel like there's something that you're looking for from me, and I'm not giving it to you, so you're mad at me. And I said, and it just like, boom. Do you ever have those moments where like it just hits you and you're like, it's like debris, you're like blown out by the answer? I can laugh about it now because I'm through it. But do you ever have those moments where you're like, oh, that's what it is? And it's so surprising and shocking, even for all of us who do all this work, right? It doesn't matter where you are in your evolution. It's still such a surprise. It still knocks us off balance. It still is something that we get to explore and look at, and I'm so grateful for it. Like, thank God, thank the universe that I get to like see things about myself that are either holding me back or not working or hurting me or causing me pain. So while it sucks and I don't like Kelly said, shadow work's painful, while I don't like being in pain, I know I have to step through, I have to wade through whatever, swim through it. I have to get through it to be able to rise up. So that's why I call this emotional breakdowns, how to heal and rise up, because I feel so much lighter now that I had that experience of having that breakdown, seeing something about myself that I was resistant to see, I didn't want to see. And look, that's why a lot of people don't do this work. They don't want to see this stuff, okay? I know people that don't want to see this stuff, and I'm sure you know people, right, that don't want to go there. And maybe you've even offered them, hey, maybe you could take this course or talk to this person, and they're like, nah, I'm good, thanks. And it's bullshit. I'm sorry to use that word, but it's bull. It's not okay. They're not fine. We all need support and work to help us be self-actualized, to help us get through all this gunk, because it's there. It exists in everyone. And the more I see spiritual visionaries sharing their gunk, that I think the more all of us feel courageous, right, to share as well and to really open up about it. Bobby says, once you do it a couple times, you know that it's better on the other side and worse to stay stuck. Totally. Yes. So true. It's so much worse, people. I mean, I'm sure the people watching this, I don't know if you're in my audience or Project Positive Changes audience, you know it's better on the other side. Still, hey Susan, thanks for joining. You'll have to catch the replay about the whole emotional breakdown. But it still stinks, right? It still stinks to be in it. But here's some lessons. Here's some wisdom, if you will. And by no means am you could get wisdom from other places. I'm offering mine. I've been doing this work a long time, many, many years. So here's the wisdom. Here's the lessons I'll share. When you see that you're getting stuck in the mud, when you're having the emotional breakdown, when you're getting dragged down, because doesn't it feel like heavy like that? You're just like getting dragged down. Like I hear people comment like I feel heavy, or I feel weighted down, I feel like I'm in a cloud. That's a cue, okay, first. So being aware of your feelings, your body, your emotions. You know, I do a lot of energy work, so I really try to practice this on myself so I can be of service to others. So I go to what's happening. And a lot of times I feel stuff in my gut, my stomach. That's my gift in life. That's my area, that things show up. So if you have an area, be like best friends with that area. Really be in touch with it. So when my husband shared, was like, what's under there? I feel like there's something you're wanting from me and I'm not giving it to me and you're taking it out on me. And when the word, boomed out of the heavens, validation, and it hit me and I was like falling over from the shock waves, I sat with it a moment. And that's another thing. Just be with it. Be with it. When it comes to you, when you hear that loud booming voice, when the answer hits you over the head, just be with it. And it's okay if someone's in the room or people in the room and you're like, I just need to be with it. What happened for me though, and I'm not a huge crier, I have moments where I break down and cry. I'm just not a huge crier though in general. I feel like I cried a lot out when my mom, like after my mom passed and I was grieving, and I feel like I had like no cry left in me. It was that bad. But I started crying and I like took off my glasses and he gave me a big hug, and luckily he wasn't too pissed off at me for how I was behaving and treated him to not comfort me. So I was really grateful for that. But he gave me a big hug and he's like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And it was funny because even though I crave validation, I want people to like me. I want to feel I'm worthy. I'm enough, and I can create that. I can self-create that within myself, which is what I try to help people do. And I feel like it works, building up your self-love and confidence. But it's still okay to crave it from others. Like, it's okay. And I think that's what was hard for me. I was like, oh no, I'm still wanting other people to validate me. And that didn't feel good. Do you ever have that happen where it's like your stories come up and you're like thought you're few steps ahead of it, not completely gone, but like at least like a block ahead, and it comes back up and you're like, oh jeez, God, like cursing, right? So raise your hand if anyone's like had that experience where you're just like, geez, here we go again, dang it. Give me a like or something. So while I was in the moment, yes, all the time, says Susan, right? I know, I hear you. Anyways, but I still hate it. I still resist it. I don't like it at all. So while I was in my moment, while I heard the voice, the booming voice, you need validation, right? All of that. I was like, okay, I was breathing into it. I just let myself cry, let myself feel it, feel what it was like. Feel what it was like to feel not validated. And it's okay to feel something that feels crappy. It's okay. Feel it, okay? Because guess what? It's going to come back maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month. It's going to come back to haunt you. So I was like, wow, how does that feel? And I was really in it, and I thought of, this is a great one. And I'm sure you guys can all relate. I love this. And then I started like seeing all the ways, right, where I'm not validated. Like I started thinking, well, I reached out for help in this membership group I am, and nobody but my accountability buddy who's on here, Susan, gave me any feedback. Like, no one cares about me. So I was in my own like pity party, right? Getting mad at the world. So I let myself go there. I let myself get angry, pissed off, feeling totally unvalidated. And you know what? Best thing. It was the best thing I could have experienced this morning. I needed to feel that. I needed to process it. I needed to be in it. I'm grateful that I think it's pretty much blown over. I'm still hanging out today. I was actually not going to do this live because I thought I was emotionally unstable to do it. I have to be honest. I was going to postpone this to tomorrow because I felt like emotionally and energetically I was not ready. But look, I feel better. I feel like this is my therapy, that I get to be here with all of you, and maybe you learn from this, or I relate in any way, or get inspired. So I got to be with the hurt, the pain of not feeling validated. And then I got to see, okay, is that true? I'm always looking at, am I really out in the world not getting any validation? And it's not true. It's not true. Yes, you said glad I did it. It's an important message. Thank you, Susan. You're so awesome. Thank you. So I got to be in the space then of looking at what is true for me. And I got to see, okay, yeah, it's true that people didn't comment or support me or help me. And it's true that my husband wasn't being helpful. It was kind of actually not mean. He wasn't being mean, but he was giving me his honest feedback. And let me just add a little tidbit, because I have done relationship coaching. If you're looking for support from a spouse or partner, be a little bit aware of who they are and where they come from and what they're into and all that. My husband is not a meditation person, and he's not a visualization person. So for me to ask him for feedback on a guided visualization that I created is probably not the best idea. So he was kind of nitpicking things and talking about the sound quality, and I'm like, oh my God, here I am, a recovering perfectionist, attempting to not get bogged down by the imperfections in my audio that I, had edited and sound engineered. And here he is nitpicking. So you could see how the start of that, yes, thank you. I'm bringing my own raw self. Thank you, Bobby. So you could see how asking someone that, one, isn't my target audience or someone who can relate or even benefit from what I was offering and what I wanted feedback on, you could see how that was going to go nowhere, and it was probably going to be a very bad scene. So because I got not great feedback, honest, but not what I wanted to hear from my husband, I felt invalidated. I felt I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, no one's going to want to work with me or listen to my meditations or anything. And I know though, when I sat with it and I allowed myself to feel the pain of it and be in it, my true voice, who's always there, I feel, as the greatest comforter, right? The greatest little snuggly blanket for yourself. My true voice said, Nicole, that's not true. And that's can only happen when you get quiet and feel what you need to feel. All right? That voice that's there to be your comfort blanket, your security blanket that's there to always guide you and look out for you. Your highest version of you is always there when you get quiet and you actually get real, get vulnerable, let your emotional blockage, emotional constipation out. I feel that's when we can hear that truth. And so that really helped me just go back to, do I believe in myself? Do I believe in myself? I don't care what he thinks or she thinks or whatever. Do I believe in myself? Because I know I'm not meant to help everyone. I know not everyone's going to want my gifts, because there's so many other gifts that work for them or they identify with. So I was like, in the 5 years I've been doing all this and working with people and supporting people and coaching, I do feel validated. I do feel that, whatever I've offered has been of value and people have created transformation in my life. And I do believe that that's a gift that I'm meant to share, and I'm not going to not share it just because someone didn't like my audio, that someone being my husband. So that's what I wanted to share today, about how you can go through the emotional breakdown, heal from it, and rise up. And I really also, a big thing is then just give yourself grace. I love that word, grace. Give yourself some grace after it. I'm always one that wants to get busy right away again and start doing and producing. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna be where I need to be today. And I feel like a lot of us don't allow ourselves, that we don't give ourselves permission to just be in whatever. And I know I've been judgmental of that in the past, like even for myself. I have this, I think it comes from seeing things as weaknesses, and it stems honestly from seeing my mom go through cancer and being sick and all that. I don't like seeing people get stuck or struggle or feel taken out by life. I don't like that feeling. It triggers me. And so for myself, don't like to feel like I'm not able to just rise up and do it and persevere. And that's a very masculine energy. And I really work hard on being more balanced and letting my masculine do what it needs to do when it's appropriate, and letting my feminine have its place to shine. So I'm in my feminine energy today. I'm really like being emotional, nurturing myself, taking care of myself. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, whoever's watching this, we have both of those core energies, masculine, feminine, there for a reason. It doesn't mean just because you're a guy, you always have to be in your masculine, or you're a woman, you always have to be in your feminine. Sometimes too much feminine, you're kind of like a mess, right? I've been there too. You're like, I can't do anything, You're not actually taking action in your life and getting results because you're too passive. So I allowed myself to just be in the space of having the emotional breakdown, being in the healing process, rising up, and letting whatever else needed to come out. Because let me tell you, purging doesn't always end in that emotional outburst. I'm sure you can all relate. If you've been there, you can share that in the comments or give me a thumbs up. But sometimes the purge is like aftershocks, right? It comes up again and again. Actually, like just doing this video, I kind of felt things again, and I felt myself tearing up a bit. But I think I made myself laugh, and it went away. So feel the aftershocks. Give yourself space. Look, I know we all have stuff going on in our lives. People we're responsible for, a job and all that. It's okay to say, I'm out for the day, or I need my alone time, or I'm just going to put the pause button on this and come back to it later. Unless you're a doctor, because you know how we say you're not saving lives. Unless you're a doctor saving lives, you're not saving lives. You're important, and you can take care of yourself when you need to in the moment. Now, I know as someone who can easily stuff things down because I feel it's not time or I need to deal with something else, let me just tell you, it's going to create that chandeliering effect. You're going to have an emotional breakdown at some point. So why not give yourself the permission to just be in it, right? Just be in it. Gosh, we take life so seriously sometimes. We're emotional human beings. We all have feelings. Even if you have a breakdown at the supermarket. Who's had a breakdown at the supermarket? I want to see all my sensitive souls out there. Have you ever had like a breakdown in a public place or a supermarket? It doesn't have to be a supermarket. But have you ever had that? Like, it's okay. Sure, people judge, think you're wacko, whatever. Yeah, someone's getting hearts. Yep. You've had an emotional breakdown in a public place. Yeah, it's okay. Like, I've gotten really hangry in public and lashed out. Okay, I'm not proud of it. Bobby raising her hand. Thank you, Bobby, for being the brave soul, the courageous one that admits to it. So look, what I'm here to share and offer for you is just, if you're going through an emotional breakdown, if you don't have anybody to ask you the question, like, what's really going on, you need to ask yourself the question, whether you journal about it, whether you allow yourself some quiet meditation and let it come forth. What is really going on? If you're triggered by something, if you're upset, if you're feeling it in your body, you're feeling that heavy weighed down we talked about, that stuckness, what's under? Let's dig under. Remember the iceberg? You know, what is it? I forgot how many, the percentage, like a third is, or a fourth is at the top of the surface, but 3/4 is under the water. What is your iceberg? Under the water, right? Oh, you said you had your last fit in the, Bobby says, I had my last one in the streets of Spain in May. That's fun, being in a foreign country and on vacation and having a breakdown. So like I was saying, though, Bobby, you knew, right? You probably had that moment where you're like, what's going on? And I know you, and you shared with me what was going on for you. But what's the 3/4 of that iceberg that you're not looking at and seeing and acknowledging, okay? For me, it was not feeling validated, not feeling enough. What is it for you? What you got to ask yourself those questions. Go embrace the pain, embrace all of that. It's not fun. I don't like it either, but when you're going through it, let that process unfold so you can rise up, so you can be like, oh, okay, I'm glad that's gone. Oof, that was like a stinky fart that had to leave the room. Sorry. I talk about poop and fart. That's just who I am. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm not for you. But anyways, it's something you know, it's important. It's vital for your evolution. It's vital for you to like continually experiencing these moments in your life, because guess what? They're going to come up sooner or later. Let's all just get through them now. All right? It's like the shot in the arm. Just give it to me real quick. I don't want to see it, but give it to me. So, oh, Barbara, for you, it's often grief. Okay, so that emotional breakdown is your grief. I don't know what you're grieving, but that, believe me, I totally relate. It took me a long time to actually grieve for my mom when she passed. It took me a while. I could feel that energy of like not wanting to go there. I think I was in denial, right? Isn't denial one of the stages of grief, right? I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. I think I was in denial. I think I was in denial of her whole having cancer, really. I just was like, my mom's going to be fine. She's going to be healthy. But see, I didn't let myself feel those feelings. And then when she did pass, it like knocked me so far off my feet that I was like in another continent, and I just was lost for, I think it took me a year to actually grieve. So Barbara, I honor and respect that you're, you know, open about your grief and that you have those emotional breakdowns, you know, and they're about grief, and just keep going through it and just keep asking yourself those questions, like, what's under here though? I know grief is a little different. Yeah, you said, Barbara says, that's how I typically handle it. And yes, my mom passed with cancer just and lost a pal recently. Yeah, yeah. I'm with you. I'm sending you my love and emotional support. And I'm glad that you are able to be with it and kind of go and explore that a little bit. So, yeah. Wow. Well, unless anyone has any questions for me or wants any shares, I really just appreciate you commenting and being a part of this. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Bobby, Susan, everyone else, Kelly, who's joined this call today. Just remember, let's all celebrate emotional breakdowns together. We're in it together. And, like, you know, from time to time, be like, yay, I had an emotional breakdown and this is what I learned, and share it publicly. Like, I really feel like helps the stigma, you know, that we got to have our crap together all the time. We don't, okay? We lose it. So it's okay. It's okay. Doesn't mean we're less than or whatever. Just it is what it is. Okay? So what? Now what? Right? Now what is, I processed, I saw something I was resistant to seeing, and I get to be with it, and I get to just own it. I get to own that I'm a person that still struggles with wanting validation. And that's something that I'll continue to look at and explore. Yet I don't want that driving me. I don't want my need for validation to affect what I produce in my work, what I put out there. I want to still be authentically me and not having anything I create or produce or share to be about getting validation. That's not at all like what I want and my intention is. So that's good for me to own it, so I can like actually check in with myself and go, is this coming from a space of needing validation, or is this actually what I really feel aligned with, right? I just, if anything else, that's like a huge lesson for me, to just a great reminder, and it was a wake-up call, because I was probably traveling down that road of like wanting the validation, and that's why I had to have the emotional breakdown. So you see, the universe is always conspiring with us in our favor to get us to see what we need to see when we need to see it. And if you stuff it down, you're gonna miss it, and you're gonna continue doing something that's probably not aligned with what you want, not aligned with your soul, not aligned with your purpose. So I'm so grateful, and I'll just honor my guides, everyone involved that was part of my emotional breakdown today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for letting me experience that and see that part of me, and be aware, so that I know now how I'm going to move forward and rise up. Yay! So, yeah, breakthroughs, Bobby! Breakthroughs! Well, I love you all. Sending you all my love. Like my pages, anyone new here, I have Divine Flow Energy Healing, so you're always updated on some new stuff. I'm going to be adding a magical healing waterfall meditation. It's not the one my husband listened to that he didn't like. He actually is like, yeah, I like the waterfall one better. So like Divine Flow Energy Healing, also Love Garden Designer, and stay connected. If you like, you know, sharing and what you heard today, I'd love to have you as part of my soulmate tribe. So let's all do this together. Let's do life together. All right? Yay! Doing life together. Awesome. All right, everyone. Signing off. Take care. Sending you much light and love. Bye-bye.